Well, you can't really see me, and I'm going to tell you that basically this is just going to be like, well, you'll see my face, but, you know, I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people are probably wondering why I'm going to say this. And a lot of people are probably going to look at me and probably say, Jackson's, you know, this is not you. This is not something that we would ever think that would come from you. But I'm going to tell you right now, and after today's Vikings game, I really do think that I can say that I'm damn glad to live in Minnesota. I mean, you know, the only thing that bothers me about the Vikings is the horns on the helmets. Because real Vikings don't have horns on their helmets. That's just a cartoon thing. So you guys won't be able to see me because this is going to be like an audio. This is going to be like an audio podcast is what it's going to be. But it's going to be a video perspective but with an audio perspective. So the audio is turned on. So you guys will be able to hear me probably. So I don't know. It'll be one of those audio shows tonight, okay? I mean, you might be able to see me sometimes, but it's more audio is what it is. But, you know, I'm actually glad to say that I'm from Minnesota. I actually love it here in Minnesota. I'm no longer going to badmouth Minnesota anymore. I'm no longer going to badmouth it. I'm just going to accept it and say, hey, I'm from Minnesota. And I'm going to just, say, you know what? If you don't like Minnesota, that's your choice. But I'm from Minnesota. I live in Minnesota. I was born in North Dakota. And I moved to Minnesota, and I love it here. I mean, sometimes I used to get down, and I used to get depressed, and I used to get angry when I lived in Minnesota. And everybody was saying, Jack, it's because of your winter depression. Well, you know what it was? It was because, one, I wasn't having any fun. I wasn't by myself. I wasn't me. I wasn't where I thought that I needed to be. But now, living in Minnesota for as long as I have, I mean, I've been in Minnesota for a pretty decent time. And I've lived in Minnesota almost longer than I lived anywhere else. It's getting pretty close. I mean, I'm 45 years of age, so, I mean, I lived in Virginia for a long time, and I always thought Virginia was going to be my home, but, dude, I'm never going to go back there. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back to Virginia. I love my friends there. I love my Virginia family. I'll go back and visit you guys, but, you got to come visit me too, You got to come here. You got to come to Minnesota. You got to see what Minnesota has to offer. Jake was here. So Jake, my best friend, Jacob Hope, he came here because he went to McNally School. He went to the McNally School of Music here. Yeah. So he went to school here. He went to school here, and he knew what it was like. He knew what it was like. And he said, he knew what it was like, And when you're born in North Dakota and you live through the winters and you live through all that stuff, and then you turn around and you come to Minnesota, it's not a bad place to live. Minnesota is actually one of these places that you have to think about and just go, I'm in Minnesota, and Minnesota has a lot to offer. I mean, there's a lot of things to do in Minnesota. I mean, there is, like, you can go camping, you can go boating, you can go fishing in winter or in summertime, because you can do ice fishing or you can do regular fishing. Yeah, you can do either or, you know? And, I mean, you can come up to Brainerd, and you can go to Brainerd, and you can go up here to Brainerd and go to the racetracks. And, you know, go to these wonderful racetracks we have here and drive around and have fun. I mean, Minnesota is not just a scary place. Minnesota is a place where, if you think about it, you can have a blast. You can go skiing here, you know. You can go hunting anywhere. I mean, we got things to do here, you know. We have a lot of things to do here. We have a lot of fun things to do here. And I know you're probably thinking to myself, or you're probably thinking to yourself, but Minnesota, why Minnesota? Well, I'll tell you, man. I've lived here for a pretty long time, and I'll tell you, I've had issues with it, but I've also turned around to love it. I mean, you know, like this year and last year, we had a brown Christmas. We didn't get any snow or any ice, you know. You couldn't drive your snowmobile until March. I mean, we got some snow this year, but it's been 34 degrees outside in December. So there's nothing wrong with that. And I know you're probably sitting there thinking to yourself, you know, Jack, you're absolutely right. We didn't have a lot of snow this year, but, you know, Minnesota has a lot of things to offer, man. And depending on where you live in Minnesota, you can have a blast, man. Duluth is really fun, you know. Yeah, I watch all these stupid videos, and they always sit there and they say, like, worst places to live in Minnesota and worst places to be in Minnesota. You know, I am yet to find a worse place in Minnesota. I haven't found one yet. I just drive around Minnesota all the time, and Minnesota's so great. I mean, there was this lady that was on one of my shuttles one time, and she just said that she was from Minnesota. She was from St. Cloud all of her life. And then she turned around and started bad-mouthing St. Cloud. She's like, why would anybody want to live in St. Cloud? And I'm like, you know what? It's closer to my job. It's closer to where I work, you know? And there's nothing wrong with St. Cloud. Nothing wrong with White Park. Nothing wrong with St. Joe. Nothing wrong with anything around here, man. It's a great place. Minnesota's Minnesota, bro. If you don't like it, you don't have to live here. You can move. Every time people talk about leaving Minnesota, they always come back, you know? Hey, what's going on, Brendan? So, Brendan McMillan is a good friend of mine. He's on Facebook. So he's following me on Facebook because that's on the live stream on Facebook. And Brendan's one of my best buds. I call him my brother, you know. We've been friends for a long time. And he knows me. And he knows exactly what I'm thinking about. And you know what? I've always wanted to leave Minnesota. But then I always remember that, you know, Minnesota's a pretty decent place, man. Minnesota's got some things that a lot of people just haven't really explored. If you explore Minnesota and go out and actually look at it and go to some of these really cool places, like, you know, some of these falls, or, you know, or going up to Duluth, or going up to Lake Superior. I mean, you know, we're right under Canada, man. And, you know, it's actually pretty badass to be from Minnesota. And I'm actually damn glad to be I'm glad to be a Minnesotan. I mean, yes, Minnesota, there is a camo clause, you know, and I'm damn glad to live here. Now, the Minnesota Vikings, they did really good today. Only won by 2 points, but, you know, and the Wild are losing right now, but the Wild are starting to come around. But I don't hate Minnesota because of the teams around here. Minnesota, I don't even hate it. I think Minnesota's great. I think Minnesota's got a great, you know, thing about it. I mean, I don't know if the governor's going to stay around, but I don't really care. He's not really anything that bothers me, you know? I just love Minnesota. And I just wanted to get that off my chest. I wanted to say that, you know, I love Minnesota. I think it's a great place to, you know, to live, to be a part of, to, you know, come here. Some people want to go on vacation and then they want to come back. I want to open a tree farm here. I want to sell Christmas trees out of Minnesota. You know, I want to do all sorts of fun stuff in Minnesota. I want to go to all the ski resorts in Minnesota and see what they have to offer. I want to just have fun in Minnesota. You know, I'm actually thinking about even buying a side-by-side with tracks on it just because I want to. You had a weak network. What? You're trying to tell me transmission is unstable? It's because you're just being a pain in the butt. But my network is working and it's fine. It's because you can't see me. That's why you're not going to keep it on. Well, I'm just telling you that in this video tonight, in this live, I'm driving, but I'm paying attention to what's going on because it's foggy out right now, and yes, I can see the road and I can do what I'm going to do. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not paying any attention to my computer or my phone. I'm driving. I can see things out of the corner of my eye, but yet I'm still driving. I'm one of the best drivers that Groom's got. And I enjoy driving, and I enjoy doing it, you know? But I'll tell you right now that Minnesota, I'm so glad to live here. I'm so glad that this is my home. I mean, I like Minnesota so much that, you know, I think I'm damn glad that I came here. Because Minnesota has a lot to offer. I mean, land of 10,000 lakes. Minnesota, nice people. Got snow every once in a while. We got a great, you know, seasons. I mean, the roads can be terrible, but that's just because, you know, we got problems with the roads, but we're working on that. But every place has got problems. But I mean, you can go live in Arizona, and you can go down there and live in 120 to 114 degree weather, but it's dry air. Yeah. You can live in Flagstaff, Arizona, and get snow every once in a while if you want snow. But I don't know, man. I'll tell you right now, if this thing stops, they can finally stop it. I don't care because of a weak transmission or whatever, but I'll tell you right now, I just love Minnesota, and I want people to understand that. I went live tonight because I haven't been going live, and I just wanted to say that I love Minnesota. Tonight's video is basically going to be entitled, I Love Minnesota, and I'm damn glad to live here. Because I am. I'm damn glad to live here. You know? But you won't be able to see me because tonight is basically like an audio podcast. That's exactly what it is. It's an audio podcast. It basically is just an audio connection of me talking. I mean, Brendan came on and told me what's up. And I said, Brendan, I think you're great, and I think you're a great guy, and I think you're one of my best brothers. I mean, I haven't talked to you for a long time. Reasoning is because, one, I just haven't been able to do anything. I've been working so dang much, which I don't mind. I love working. I mean, my goal this year is to work every day all the way up to the end of Thanksgiving, and then take off from the 1st of December to the 27th of December. Basically, 27 days off in December. That's what I want to do. Because I want to do camo claws, and I want to do a lot of stuff with camo claws, because that's what I want to do. That's my life now. Yeah. I got ideas for my next vehicle. What I'm going to do to my car. What I'm going to do to vehicles if I get one. You know? I'm working on trying to get an FJ Cruiser because I want to get rid of this Mini Cooper. But people don't want me to get rid of this Mini Cooper. They love it too much. So, you know what? I'll keep it for them. But I'm going to do something to it. Because I want to do something to it to make it more me. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, I love Minnesota, and I'm damn glad to be a part of Minnesota. I'm damn glad to be here. I enjoy it. I think it's a great place to live. I hope someday I find a Mrs. Claus here. I hope someday I have my tree farm and my farm. I want a farm. Yep. You know, I want a nice, big, farm. 100-acre farm, Just something to have fun. Just something to be me, Am I going to have mud bogging and stuff there? Probably not. I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably just going to open a tree farm and sell Christmas trees. I also want to get my ordained ministership because I want to marry people. Do I want to be a pastor? I would love to. I mean, I would just love to be happy. That's all I would love to be. Some people say, Jack, are you happy when you're at work? And I say, yeah. I'm always happy when I'm at work. Because I get to be myself when I'm at work. I get to do what I want to do to some extent. But the thing is that, I'm living my life, and I'm trying to be Jaximus Claus. I'm trying to go get my name changed. I'm trying to do a lot of things. But it just takes a lot of time and money. And believing in God. And I do believe in God. I do believe in God. I also do believe in Odin. I believe in the All-Father. I believe in having fun. I believe in enjoying myself. I believe in being me. And one of the things that you guys understand is that, I believe in you guys. I want to be positive. I don't want to be negative anymore. I don't want everybody to come crashing down on me with negativity anymore. Sometimes when I'm around negative people, I just don't talk to them. Because I don't want to be around them. So my New Year's resolution to myself is I'm going to do 3 things. I'm going to try to be positive. I'm going to try to love more people. And I'm going to try to be happy. Because the thing is that's all I want to be. And if people don't want me to be happy, then don't try to stop me. Because I'm going to try to be happy. Because that's all I want to be. Because all I want to do is just live my life and be excited. because living my life and being excited and being happy is what I want to be. I mean, yeah, I want to change my name to Jaximus Claus. And I want to be a Claus. A lot of people laugh at that idea. A lot of people think it's kind of weird that I want to be a Santa Claus. But I always want to be a cousin of Santa Claus. Because I'm never going to be the real thing. I can't be the real thing. The real thing started 1,700 years ago. And I can't be the real thing. I can be myself and be something that I started 12 years ago. I mean, it was a thought in my mind 12 years ago, and now I've been doing it for almost 12 years, and it's great. I mean, some people say, Jack, you've only been doing it 10, but I've been wanting to do it for almost 12 years, and I've been around it for 12 years. The thought's been in my mind. I mean, the thought was back when Duck Dynasty was around. But I was the one to think about it. I was the one that actually came up with the idea, Camo Claus. Because I was the one that thought about it. I was the one that said, wow, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's go somewhere with this. And that's what I'm doing. I'm devoting my life to my brand, to Camo Claus. I mean, I paint shoes that are red and green. I do stuff, called Camo Claus kicks. I make different, shoes for Camo Claus. I make red and green shoes. I make tumblers that are for Camo Claus. I also do stuff for Groom Transportation for my job because I love the job so much. And all I want to do is live my life to the fullest and be happy. That's all I want to do. And you want to know something? I'm very happy when I'm working at Groom. Because I love this company. Because this company's great. I mean, I talk about them because they're a great company. I really wish that I could do more for the company. I want to do stuff for the company more than you can imagine. Advertise, do stuff, and I love it. I'm surprised I haven't painted my car, to match the Groom colors and advertise for Groom. But the thing is that Groom does so much that just advertising would be just the icing on the cake. But we do enough advertising when we work. But I just want to be happy. That's all I really want to be. And excuse me. And it's like with Quentin, or with the guy who's coming up with the Cowboy Podcast. He sent me a thing, saying that he wanted me to be a part of his podcast. Well, that's great. I would love to be a part of his podcast. I actually like the guy a lot. I think he's a great dude. I hope someday his music career takes off. Because he's a very good country singer. He's a very good guy. His name's Quentin. He's on my Facebook page. He's a very wonderful guy. I call him the Christian Cowboy is what I call him, because he's very into his, into the Lord. I don't know if he's Christian or not, but I bet he's very big. He's very big on the Lord, which, I'm starting to. I'm basically trying to be a born again Lutheran, or loving God and the whole faith and everything else, because I'm trying to, man. I'm trying to get myself to realize that there is a better force out there that you can follow, because there are people out there right now that are just trying to make you follow Satan, and you just don't want to do that. I mean, every time I turn my Facebook or my Instagram on and I get those reels, like 90% of them, it's like, don't scroll or else God will leave you with a bad blessing. Well, the thing is that, I believe in God. I believe in it. And I don't have to say amen or trust him all the time. I believe in it. If he wants me to win the lottery, he'll make me win the lottery when it's my time. I mean, I'm not expecting, money just to fall out of the sky and make my life better. I mean, sometimes if you wish that, maybe that's the devil trying to take you through the wrong door. But sometimes you just have to be yourself and be happy is all you gotta be. And be positive. It's what you need to be. I'm not saying that, something's gonna happen to me tomorrow and something's gonna make my life change. But you know what? Something just needs to work. And if it's time that I need, it's something I don't have. We don't know when we're going to die tomorrow. We don't know how long we're going to live. We just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other every day. Waking up in the morning and saying, hey, thanks, Lord. Or good morning, Jesus. Because that's what I think it's going to be. But people want to say stuff like, well, Jack's going to be a born-again Christian, so he's probably going to change. I'm probably not going to change. I'm probably going to be the same guy that I've always been. But now I'm just going to be in a more positive attitude. Because I don't like to be negative. I don't like to be down. I don't like to be depressed. I don't like to have things not go my way. But things have to. I mean, things have to work themselves out. They just do. Because life can't always be down all the time. Things can work for people. It just has to go in a positive direction. I mean, everybody sits here and says things happen for a reason. Things happen for a reason. Things go the way they do for a reason. And you want to know why that is? Because things happen for a reason because, well, that's just the way, it comes out on paper. No one's sitting here planning their future out because nobody knows what's going to happen from day to day. No, we don't know what's going to happen from day to day. We just get up, go to work, and live each day like it's our last day on the earth. And we just work and work and work until our time, or until our card is punched. But the thing is that people can be positive with each other and live a good life and enjoy themselves and be happy, but not always have to be upsetting to people. Like when it comes to sporting events and everything, like today, Gary said to me that the Vikings were going to lose. Well, the Vikings only won by 2 points. So, I mean, yeah, it was pretty close. And, I was joking around with Gary a lot. And I was telling Gary that, he's like, the Vikings are going to lose. And I'm like, I'm going to skull F you, is what I said I was going to do. And I was joking with him. And I know he knows that. At least I hope he knows that. I said that I was going to skull F him. But I was joking with him. Because Gary and I are cool like that, to know that when we're just messing with each other, that we can go very far. I mess with Gary like he's my brother. And I love Gary. I love Gary McCarthy like he's my brother, okay? There, I said it, you know? Because I don't have any brothers. I have sisters. Yeah, in my immediate family, I have 2 sisters right now. And, you know, one of them talks to me. The other one kind of just doesn't talk to me unless she really and truly wants to talk to me. And she knows who she is. Yeah, she knows who she is. Yep. And if she wants to talk to me, she'll talk to me when she's goddamn good and ready to. You know? But everybody in my family is so worried about why I want to change my name, why I want to get rid of the last name, why I want to do something and not be a Craning anymore. Well, if you guys knew what was going on in my life, you probably would think, Jack, you're over exaggerating and you don't need to do this. Well, the thing is I'm doing it because I'm doing it for me. I'm a grown ass man now. I'm 45 years of age. So I'm at the halfway point of my life. Because I think that, you know, I think I'm going to probably live to be about 90. Well, I don't know, but I say that I'm probably at about the halfway point of my life. But the thing is that it's time for me to shit or get off the pot. And damn it, I'm done shitting. I'm done taking shit. I'm done freaking being shit on. And I'm done doing everything. So now I'm going to wipe out all these problems. And I'm going to start over and start fresh with my life, being the person that I want to be. And if that's a clause, if it's Jackson's clause, then that's who I'm going to be. Because the thing is that's what I want to be. I want to be a clause. I mean, my spirit animal is a bear, for God's sakes. So, Berserker Claus, if that was my middle name, that would be Bear Claus. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, when they look at me, the first thing they think of is, you know, a cross between, you know, Thor and Chris Farley. Because, you know, I want to be funny. I want to be loud. I want to be basically that stand-up guy that does what everybody wants. I was watching that episode last night of David Letterman. The one where Chris Farley comes in and he had the most electrifying entrance. But he couldn't get his breath. He couldn't talk. So David Letterman said, hey, you know, let's take a commercial break while the EMTs check you out and make sure that you can breathe. Because he didn't want him to die on the set. And Chris Farley was like, okay, man. But the thing is Chris Farley was an electrifying guy. And so am I. I'm an electrifying guy. I'm loud. If people don't like me, you don't have to watch me. You can leave. That night that I got kicked out of my seats at the Knights game, at the Las Vegas Knights game, when I was dressed as Camo Claus, I wanted to beat the crap out of those people that were Knights fans. But that was not the way to go. I got up and I walked around the arena and I met some wonderful people. But I'm always going to be Camo Claus. I'm going to be Camo Claus, and that's how I'm going to be, and that's what I'm going to be for the rest of my life. I mean, yeah, my beard and hair will probably turn white, and when it does, I'll be so happy because I want it to turn white. I want it to turn white. I want it to be white. Yes. Because the thing is I want it. I want my Viking haircut back. I want everything about me to be there. I want my ponytail back. I want my Scandinavian haircut back. I want my Viking haircut. And I'm not going to let some asshole or some person call me a faggot because, you know, I have a ponytail and I wear a kilt. If you want to fucking fight me, we'll fight. I might not win them all, But, whatever. Swear jar. Yeah, I gotta put money in the swear jar like I always do. I put money in the swear jar all the time. I have an envelope that has money in it. It's for my swear jar. It goes in the envelope all the time. Yeah. Yep. It's called the swear jar. But, I'm trying to enjoy my life. I'm trying to live it every day for the fullest, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to live my life because you know what? I want to. And if I don't live my life, then, somebody else is going to end up living my life for me, and I don't want that. Because the thing is that the world we live in is completely and utterly on its own thing right now, and people are just taking it one day at a time. They're living their lives one day at a time because that's all they can do right now. Yeah, that's all they can do right now is live it one day at a time. And if people live their lives one day at a time, and they did it one day at a time, then that's the best thing that they can do. I mean, I'll tell you right now, there is nothing better to do than just taking day by day, and enjoying it. So, you have to understand, it's just one of those things, man. It's one of those topics. It's one of those things at hand that people just look at and they say, well, Jack Smith, what are you going to do? I'm going to continue to live my life. Be dang glad to be a Minnesotan and living it and enjoying it and taking it one day at a time. Because that's all you can do. I know people are probably sitting here looking at the live going, I can't see you. Well, basically, it's a podcast. I mean, I'm not trying to hide my face or hide my identity or anything like that, because I'm just driving down the road and I'm trying to get my thoughts out. My deep thoughts, my Jack Smith claws. Because I have a lot of things on my mind. A lot of things that I want to do. I was telling a guy last night about Minnesota After Dark, a car club that I'm part of. Well, I'm part of it. I love the guys that run it, but I was part of Trax Revolution, and Trax Revolution was my company that I had, and I got rid of Trax Revolution because I just don't want to do it anymore. Minnesota After Dark, I'm a part of it. I'm an expert for their page, but I don't really feel, like I'm a part of it because I didn't help start it. Or I didn't help do anything. I helped it become something. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Michael and Dan and all those guys that started Minnesota After Dark and gals that started it. Yeah, they got a good thing going. Over 2,000 members. And now Trax Revolution's gone. I got rid of it. And I don't want anything to do with anything with Trax Revolution anymore. I'm going through my computer and I'm getting rid of all my logos and decals and everything because I'm concentrating on my brand. I'm concentrating on my brand, Camo Claws, because that's all I really care about. Because Camo Claws is going to be me. Because I'm going to be Camo Claus for the rest of my life. You know? I'm going to start, having white hair and white beard, and I'm going to start, just being me. And living my life is what I'm going to do. Because that's what I want to do. I want to live my life. I want to enjoy it. People are like, dude, is Jack dying? No, I'm not dying. I'm basically telling you guys my life story, and that is what the Jacksamus Live is. Jacksamus Live is basically me coming out and telling you guys every day what's on my mind. And that's what I'm going to start doing from now on. Jacksamus Live. I used to do Chilling with Craning. Now it's Jacksamus Live. Now it's Jacksamus every day. When Jacksamus is down, I'm going to get onto the screen. Cough, 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 cough. But I love you guys. And you guys just don't know it. You guys just think that, hey, Jack just said he loved us. Is there something wrong with him? No. There's nothing wrong with Jack. There's nothing wrong with him at all. I just love all the people that believe in me, all the people that think I'm great, all the people that want to know me. And you know what? That's great. Another damn thing is I just wish I could stop, watching the P Word. And because I turn to that stuff all the damn time. Because it's just something that makes me feel comfortable when I don't have a woman in my life. But I'm not even going to start, I'm not even going to get into that because that's a different podcast for a different time. I'm going to talk about, what to do. And I watched this video. Okay, actually, you know what? Fuck it. Swear jar. I'm going to do it. I watched this video on Instagram, and this guy talks about how the P Word, how porn ruined his relationship with his wife. And you know what? Porn probably ruined my relationship with Joe. But the one thing that you have to understand is I did it, and I said some things, and she caught me in it, but I apologized for it. But as many times as I apologized to her about what happened, it defeated the fact of the matter is that we couldn't go back to what we had when we first started. And you know what? If porn is what ruined Joe and I's life, then you know what? That's my fault. And I'll be the man and I'll say that porn ruined my life. Or porn ruined our relationship. And if people want to say, Jack, you can't talk about porn because you play a Santa Claus. Well, you have to understand. I play Santa's cousin. I'm different. I'm not the real Santa Claus. I'm a camo Claus. I wear camo. And I dress up. I still love kids. I still love being, around kids. I want them to respect and understand and believe in my cousin. I want them to believe in Santa and believe in me. Because the thing is that we're both there. But my cousin right now, he's partaked and portrayed. He's portrayed by other people. There are helpers that portray him at the mall. Yeah, they portray him at the mall. They put on his suit or something like his suit and they portray him. Because the thing is the real version of him is 1,700 years old. Santa Claus is 1,700 years old. So what people do is Santa has called on people that he has, that he hires, that he looks at, that he, sees and says, hey, you'd be a great Santa. So can you play in my honor for me? Now what Santa did for me, what the real Santa did for me, is the real Santa told me that he would love it if I was his cousin. And that is why Camo Claus and I came up with this idea 12 years ago. And that is why I've been doing Camo Claus. And now that I'm doing that, I'm trying to tell you guys that I'm trying to change my life. Meaning that I'm trying to get rid of things that were in my past that I don't even want to do anymore. Like the P word, like looking at stuff on the internet. I'm actually trying to get rid of that out of my life. I'm trying to block all that out of my life. I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to eat better. I'm trying to live better. I'm trying to start taking vitamins and minerals and working out and passing the time by doing something else other than looking at porn. Because that's the kind of life that I want to live. I want to be, happy. And porn brings me down. It makes me upset. It makes me angry. It makes me mad. So I'm not going to look at it anymore. I'm done with it. So I'm going to move on from it. So I watched this video on Instagram. There was a guy who came on there, and he said that he started a group for a bunch of guys to get together and, do counseling and to learn how to control their instincts. And, and the one thing is it's just like smoking. It's an addiction. Yes, porn is an addiction. And if you take it out of your life, you can stop doing it. Yes. If you see it, and if you start seeing it, and then all of a sudden you just like, this isn't for me, you just swipe it away. You don't look at it. You move on. And that's what you always try to do. But then the bots come back. And then you always say, it's not irrelevant to me. You just hide it. You push it in the back of the burner. And it'll go away from your page eventually. It'll get off your Facebook eventually. But also, if you ever do find somebody that really loves you and appreciates you and everything else, and if you have bots on your page and then they're jealous about the bots, then they're going to turn around and hate you because they're going to think that you were looking at porn. But I actually told Joe the honest truth. I said, yeah, I posted what I did and I'm sorry for it. And how many times do I got to keep saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry? Because men always have to apologize to women for everything that we do. But women will never apologize for what they do to us. No. Women will never apologize to what they do for us. Because they think that a woman is loyal all the time because she's there. Well, you have to be there in a lot more things than just a pair of boobs and an ass and a heart. Men, like to be told that they're doing a good job. Men like to be, we like to be praised every once in a while. Not with sexual thoughts. No, just with words. You know, okay, you guys want to sit here and say that men are like dogs? Well, you know, tapping us on the head and saying good boy every once in a while is something we like. Or not coming at us and yelling at us all the dang time. We don't like to be yelled at. No, we don't. Because we got yelled at all through our lives by our parents. By our dad trying to raise us right so that we didn't, embarrass him. When it comes to changing a tire, or when it comes to shaving, or shooting free throws, or layups. I mean, I got yelled at so many damn times on how to shoot a damn layup. I never liked basketball. Because you wanted to know why I never liked basketball? Because I never liked going inside. I liked shooting three-pointers because three-pointers was more points. That's why I shot three-pointers, Dad. Was because, one, I wanted to make more points. I didn't want to get fouled and then get 3. I wanted to get fouled and shoot 4. Or I wanted to shoot three-pointers because that's why I shot from outside all the time. Was because, one, they didn't have a big dumb center in my way all the time. They had a small dinky little point guard out there who couldn't, do anything, and you could shoot over his ass when you're as big as I am. That's why I was a power forward that loved to shoot the J. Or a small forward that loved to shoot the J. Yes. I was all about shooting three-pointers. I wasn't about, shooting layups and whatever. I didn't care. The only reason why I wanted to dunk a basketball was because I was under the stereotype that white guys can't dunk. Because everybody used to tell us that we couldn't jump. No. TV even told us that we couldn't jump. But then they use us to play pickup games and they find out that we can shoot the J. Yes. Because having a white guy that can shoot three-pointers all day long from anywhere outside the basketball arch is amazing. And I have to go all the way back to Larry Bird to figure that one out. Larry Bird was my idol. He was my favorite basketball player. Everybody thought it was Jordan. No. I liked Larry. Only reason why I liked the Bulls was because the Bulls won 6 championships with a guy who could fly. But he also could shoot too. Yeah, he was an all-around great basketball player. But when he did his commercials and when he did his other stuff, was it about basketball or was it about money? I'll never know. We'll never know. Because no one can ever tell a truthful story about Michael Jordan. Because there's that one movie that came out that Matt Damon and somebody did about where he was a shoe, like it was a shoe brand, about Michael Jordan. But that doesn't tell the real story about Michael Jordan. All you have to do is see what Michael Jordan was and understand that he was a great basketball player. Yes, Kobe Bryant, great basketball player. Hell, man, Kevin McHale, great basketball player, okay? Christian Laettner, great basketball player from Duke. One of the best. Yeah. John Paxson, great basketball player. Yeah, one of the best basketball players for the Bulls. Bill Cartwright, great basketball player. Not really talked about, but, that's fine. But anyway, I'm just trying to tell you right now that I want to live my life and I want to be happy. And that's how I'm going to be. And I'm damn glad to be a Minnesotan. I'm damn glad, to live here. I'm damn glad to be a part of this place. I'm damn glad to be a part of its history. And, you know, if there was anything that I love more about being from Minnesota, it's just the ability to love where you're from. And I'm glad to wake up every day in Minnesota and be happy to be here. So, you know, we're getting into the new year for 2025, and I just want to go into the new year with a positive attitude and a positive thing. Yeah, because you know what? It's the 29th today, and it would have been my anniversary today. Yeah, it would have been my anniversary. But I don't have that anymore. So, I guess I don't really worry about it much anymore. Yeah, it would have been my anniversary, Joe. We've been separated now since October. So, you know, it's been a year and 3 months. So, yeah. But anyway, I just want to say I love you guys and can't wait to ring into the new year. We will be doing a live podcast on New Year's when the ball drops, because I'll be working probably, so I'll see you guys then. But I just want to say thanks again for watching, and I love you guys, alright?